If your goal in 2026 is to have an aesthetic physique that you're proud of, then this is the right video for you. So before we get into this, if you're new here, my goal with this channel is to make fitness and bodybuilding simple and fun for the everyday guy who wants to look great and feel great. Because I believe training and eating properly is supposed to enhance our lives, not take away from it or completely consume it. And if we're able-bodied and healthy, I believe it's a God-given opportunity to use a fitness-based lifestyle to enhance our lives and reach our fullest potential, and we shouldn't take it for granted. The problem is, it isn't easy and it's often overcomplicated. I've been lifting since I was 14 years old and I'm 29 now. And during that 15 years, I've gone through many different phases. I've been the guy that was completely obsessed with the gym, massively overtraining and overthinking every little detail of my diet. I've gone through seasons of getting completely shredded, then binge eating, getting fluffy, and having to start all over from scratch. Now I look great, I feel great, I'm relatively strong, I'm athletic, I know how to fight, and my training and diet actually complement my life, not consume it. I've also personally coached hundreds of men to the best shape of their life, and everything I share on my channel is what I've learned from my 15 years of personal experience, as well as what I've learned from coaching hundreds of men. So if you want fitness and bodybuilding to be simple, fun, and actually enhance your life, then you're in the right place. Now, when it comes to building an aesthetic physique and really fitness in general, I break things down into 3 pillars. And the first is arguably the most important of them all, and that's your mindset. And the reason I want to put the mindset portion first, and I really want to start focusing a lot of my content on the mindset portion of things, is because as I studied my channel, I realized I give away a ton of information. Everything you need to know about dieting and training is on my channel. And a lot of really good fitness channels have the same thing. The problem is all the information differs a little, and the information is out there in abundance. What most people are actually missing is the mindset to execute and stay consistent with a particular plan long enough to actually see great results. So in my future content, you're going to hear me talking a lot about mindset because it's the most important thing. And what I've found when it comes to guys who really want that aesthetic physique where they look good, they stand out, they feel great, and they're proud of the discipline and what they see in the mirror, what a lot of those guys struggle with, and it's what I struggled with for the longest, and I've just, in my 29th year of life, finally overcome this, is comparison. You see, pursuing progress is great. I think we should all be aiming to better ourselves in our fitness, in our aesthetics, in our health, in our lifestyle. But as soon as we start comparing ourselves to others, what ends up happening is we end up over obsessing about every little flaw that we have and the things that other people have that we don't. And when your mind is constantly filled with this, you're going to self-sabotage in one way, shape, or form during your journey. Maybe that self-sabotage will look like just completely wrecking your diet because you're like, man, I'm never going to look like that guy. Or maybe you just bounce from program to program because everybody you see who has a physique that you'd like to look like, you end up just following their workouts or trying their type of dieting, and you never stay consistent with something long enough to see great results. So focus on staying in your own lane. You can have people who inspire you. You can have people who give you some information, but stay in your own lane, focus on your own journey, and put your pride in the process itself. Enjoy the actual process of getting your diet in, getting your workouts in. Enjoy your workouts, enjoy those healthy meals. That's where you should be putting all of your emphasis, not on what you see in the mirror and not on what you see happening on the scale. If you stay focused on the execution of your plan for long enough, you'll end up with that aesthetic physique as long as you're doing things properly. And that really transitions us into the next portion of things, which is training. I have these conversations pretty much every single day, whether it's online or in person. Somebody will see me, they're like, oh man, you're fit. Like, what do you do for your workouts? And we'll start talking and they start asking me the most ridiculous questions. And it's not their fault. They think they're asking me the most important questions, but they're actually focusing on all the wrong details. It's actually so simple to build muscle and sculpt that aesthetic physique. You want to lift intensely. This means you should be pushing yourself very close to failure within a hypertrophy rep range, which basically just means lifting within that 6 to 15 rep range. A lot of my programs are within that 8 to 12 rep range. Sometimes we go a little higher, sometimes we go 6 to 8, but most of the time it's in that 8 to 12 rep range. And you just want to push yourself as close to failure as you can safely within that rep range. And then you want to use progressive overload. So over time, you want to make sure that you're increasing the weight or increasing the reps that you're using. And in order to do this, you have to make sure that you're following one program for an extended period of time. You can't just do randomized workouts all the time and expect to progressively overload properly. You need to follow one training program for 12, 16, even 20 weeks and progressive overload that program. Now, down below in the description, you're going to see the link to my community. In the community, there's 12 different training programs. These are programs that I have used with my clients, I've used myself, and saw incredible results, and I know they will work for you as well. You can pick any of the 12 depending on what your goals are, and you can make great progress as long as you stick to it long term. Now, I'm not saying you have to follow one of my programs, although I believe in my programs and they work. They've worked for me, they work for my clients, and you even get a 7-day free trial in the community. So you can join, you can see if you like it. If you think it's for you, you can stay. If not, you can cancel and you won't even be charged. I believe in these programs and I know they will work for you, but you do not have to join my community and follow my programs. You just need to have a program that you stick to for an extended period of time, whether it's mine, whether it's someone else's, whether it's something you come up with on your own. You just need to make sure that you're following a proven program and you're sticking with it for an extended period of time. And then you need to make sure your nutrition is dialed in. So you want to eat almost all whole foods. And when I say whole foods, I mean single ingredient foods, foods like meat, fruit, grains, vegetables. These are the types of foods that you should be eating. So a rule that I have and a rule that I tell my clients is just keep the junk food out of your house. It will just make it easier to eat the meals you need to eat, and it will keep your palate enjoying those whole food meals. Because if you're eating junk food consistently, you end up not enjoying the healthy food as much. But if you're always eating the healthy single ingredient foods and you're seasoning it right and you're adding different sauces and stuff, your palate stays trained for those healthy foods and they're amazing. But as soon as you start having junk food again consistently, you're going to crave it more and more, and the healthy food isn't going to be as good. And so make sure you're keeping that junk food out of your house and enjoy one free meal per week. So you can go out to dinner if you have a wife, you have a girlfriend, or if you just got some friends that you want to go out. Go enjoy one free meal a week. Have fun. Don't overdo it, but also don't over restrict yourself. Have that one free meal a week. And also when it comes to nutrition, what I've found for my personal liking, as well as most of my clients, not all of them, but most of them, and I would say this is going to be effective for like 98% of people, is stick to a weekly meal plan and then swap meals out week to week as you see fit. So if you go back and watch some of my old content, I used to talk a lot about being flexible with your diet and tracking your macros and making sure that your diet is very unrestricted. And as I've coached more and more people and gotten deeper into my own fitness journey, I've come to realize that for most people, it's just easier to stick to a weekly meal plan and then swap your meals out as you see fit. So you don't need to eat the same meal plan year round, but you should have staple meals that you're constantly eating. And then if you need to swap some out, you swap some out. And in the community, I have a list of 25 sample meal plans that you can follow. Now, I know I keep plugging the community, but the reason I keep bringing up my community and the reason I'm going to always bring up the community is because you need structure and you need a game plan to follow. You do not need to join my community. You don't need to use my meal plans. You don't need to use my training programs, but you do need structure, whether you spend the time and create it yourself through all the research you can do on YouTube, or if you find another fitness creator and another coach that has proven transformations and a proven track record and they have resources available, you can follow their stuff as well. I'm not just trying to get you guys to buy my thing. What I'm trying to do is get you guys to commit to an actual game plan for an extended period of time so you can achieve that aesthetic physique and be proud of what you see in the mirror while keeping things simple, keeping things fun, and enjoying a fitness-based lifestyle. So be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future content. And for anyone who is interested in joining my community and getting all of those resources, click the link down below in the description to learn more, and I'll see you all in the next video.